In a dramatic turn of events, Britain's Storm Shadow missile has struck a decisive blow, eliminating a North Korean general and several Russian military officers at a critical command post in occupied Ukraine. This marks the first confirmed loss of a North Korean military leader in the Russia-Ukraine conflict, raising eyebrows and fueling debates about Pyongyang's shadowy involvement in the war. With this precise and devastating attack on the Maryino facility, the effectiveness of Western-supplied, long-range missiles has once again come under the spotlight. But as the dust settles, one question lingers: is deploying these high-tech weapons a strategic necessity, or does it risk escalating an already volatile situation into a broader global conflict? Let's find out now. The Storm Shadow missile represents a sophisticated long-range strike capability specifically designed for engaging high-value fixed or stationary targets. Initially developed through Franco-British collaboration, this advanced weapon system combines precision with stealth capabilities. The Storm Shadow missile's physical specifications underscore its formidable strike capabilities. With a length of 5.10 meters, a body diameter of 48 centimeters, and a wingspan of 3 meters, the missile is engineered for precision and power. It weighs an impressive 1,300 kilograms and is equipped with a 450 kilogram conventional warhead, enabling it to deliver devastating impacts on strategic targets. Powered by the advanced microturbo Tri-6030 turbojet engine, the missile achieves a cruising speed of Mach 0.8, ensuring both speed and efficiency during its deployment. Its maximum operational range extends between 250 and 560 kilometers, allowing it to engage high-value targets deep within enemy territory. The missile's navigation system is equally sophisticated. It employs a triple navigation suite that integrates the inertial navigation system, global positioning system, and terrain reference navigation. This ensures precise targeting even in complex environments. Furthermore, it operates at low altitudes with terrain-following capabilities, enhancing its ability to evade enemy detection and countermeasures. The Storm Shadow missile is equipped with advanced stealth features that greatly enhance its survivability and effectiveness during missions. Its sleek, aerodynamic design and radar-absorbing materials minimize its radar cross-section, making it difficult for enemy systems to detect and intercept. These stealth characteristics ensure the missile can penetrate heavily defended airspace with a high likelihood of success. A critical component of the Storm Shadow's effectiveness is its precision guidance system, which employs a multi-phase approach to ensure accurate targeting. In the initial phase, the missile utilizes a combination of GPS and an inertial navigation system to plan its route effectively. This allows it to maintain a course optimized for efficiency and evasion. During the mid-course phase, it relies on terrain reference navigation, enabling the missile to fly at low altitudes while following the contours of the land. This not only enhances its stealth capabilities but also reduces the likelihood of detection by enemy radar. In the terminal phase, the missile switches to an infrared imaging system for pinpoint target acquisition. This ensures that the weapon hits its intended target with exceptional accuracy, even in challenging operational conditions. This comprehensive guidance architecture, combined with its stealth and long-range capabilities, makes the Storm Shadow a critical asset in modern precision strike operations. The missile demonstrates remarkable versatility in its deployment capabilities. Consequently, it can be operated from multiple aircraft platforms, including the Tornado, Rafale Mirage 2000, and Eurofighter Typhoon. During deployment, the missile follows a sophisticated attack profile. Initially, it descends to a terrain-hugging altitude post-launch. Subsequently, the navigation system guides the weapon through a pre-programmed route, utilizing terrain features for masking. The missile's terminal phase employs an advanced imaging infrared seeker that activates during the final approach. Moreover, its automatic target recognition algorithms compare the actual target area with pre-programmed parameters, ensuring precise strike capability. This sophisticated targeting system proves particularly effective in the current Russia-Ukraine war. Update today, where precision strikes against hardened targets have become increasingly crucial. Recent military intelligence reveals the strategic significance of the Ukrainian armed forces' precision strike on a Russian command post in Maryino, Kursk Oblast. The targeted facility served as a crucial command center for the 810th Russian Brigade. Undoubtedly, this location represented a vital node in Russia's military command structure, housing both Russian military leadership and North Korean forces. The command post's operational importance stems from its role in coordinating military activities across the Kursk region, where Ukrainian forces had previously captured approximately 1,300 square kilometers of territory. The Maryino facility holds considerable strategic value due to its crucial geographical and operational significance. Situated roughly 35 miles from the Ukrainian border, this location offers vital proximity to the front lines, making it a key node in the coordination of military operations. Its placement within the Kursk Oblast positions it as an essential asset in Russia's regional defense and offensive strategies, enabling it to act as a staging ground for mobilization and logistical support. Operationally, the facility serves as a central coordination hub for the 810th Brigade, a unit critical to Russia's military activities in the area. This command structure enables seamless communication and strategic planning for operations in and around the contested regions. Moreover, the Maryino facility represents a notable point of collaboration between Russian and North Korean forces. This joint force integration underscores the deepening military ties between the two nations, as North Korean personnel contribute to reinforcing the Russian military presence in the ongoing conflict. The destruction of such a strategically significant site not only disrupts the operational efficiency of Russian and North Korean forces, but also highlights the vulnerabilities in their command and coordination framework. By targeting Maryino, Western-supplied precision weapons have demonstrated their ability to dismantle high-value military infrastructure, shifting the balance of power in this highly contested region. The process of verifying the effectiveness of the strike involved a comprehensive, multi-layered intelligence gathering operation, combining advanced technologies and expert analysis to ensure accuracy in reporting the outcome. Military intelligence teams deployed a range of methodologies to confirm the precision and impact of the attack on the Maryino facility. One critical aspect of this process was the analysis of physical evidence retrieved from the site. Weapons expert Trevor Ball played a pivotal role in identifying missile fragments, which served as key evidence in determining the type of weapon used and its precise trajectory. This analysis provided crucial insights into the effectiveness of the strike and its ability to neutralize targeted assets. Additionally, thorough documentation of the damage was conducted to evaluate the scope and scale of destruction inflicted by the missile. High-resolution imagery and on-the-ground reports were used to create a detailed assessment of the structural impact. This step involved mapping the blast radius, identifying key structural failures, and analyzing the extent of operational disruption caused to the facility. Meanwhile, the Ukrainian General Staff emphasized that all necessary measures were implemented to minimize civilian risks in the vicinity. Although the exact timing and location required additional verification from international sources, the intelligence gathering process incorporated comprehensive counter-disinformation measures through Ukraine's specialized center. The facility's destruction accordingly disrupted Russia's ability to conduct operations against Ukrainian civilian infrastructure. This strategic target selection aligns with Ukraine's broader military objective of weakening Russia's operational capabilities while maintaining minimal civilian impact in the surrounding areas. Military intelligence reports confirm extensive casualties from the Storm Shadow missile strike, with both Russian leadership and North Korean forces suffering substantial losses. The attack resulted in the death of Lieutenant General Valery Solichuk, first deputy commander of the Leningrad Military District. The precision strike claimed the lives of 18 military personnel and wounded 33 others at the Maryino facility. The casualties extended beyond the initial strike, as 13 Russian sappers, including the deputy chief of staff of the 88th Mechanized Brigade, sustained injuries during post-strike cleanup operations. The strike's impact on North Korean forces has been exceptionally severe, with casualty reports varying across different sources but consistently underscoring the significant losses sustained. According to the South Korean military, approximately 1,100 North Korean troops have been killed or wounded in recent operations. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky highlighted an even grimmer picture, citing over 3,000 casualties in the Kursk region alone, a number that reflects the broader toll on North Korean and allied forces in the conflict zone. Further corroborating these figures, intelligence reports have detailed a devastating single strike that resulted in the deaths of 500 North Korean troops. The presence of North Korean military representatives at the command post was confirmed, with 3 officials, including 2 male officers and a female translator, sustaining injuries. These accounts collectively illustrate the staggering scale of losses inflicted on North Korean forces, underscoring the effectiveness of precision strikes and the growing challenges faced by these units as they engage in the escalating conflict. The heavy casualties not only highlight the risks involved for North Korean personnel, but also emphasize the broader strategic implications of their involvement in the war. Confirming casualty figures is a complex and challenging process, hindered by several significant obstacles. One major issue lies in the variability of estimates provided by multiple intelligence sources. Different agencies often rely on unique methods, data points, or levels of access, leading to discrepancies in reported numbers. This lack of uniformity makes it difficult to establish a definitive count of casualties. Another challenge is the restricted access to strike locations, which limits opportunities for independent verification. Many of these sites are located in contested or heavily controlled areas, making it nearly impossible for neutral observers to gather first-hand evidence. The absence of on-the-ground assessments further complicates efforts to verify claims and evaluate the full extent of the impact. Compounding these difficulties is the refusal of Russian authorities to confirm reported losses. By withholding official statements or providing contradictory information, they create an additional layer of uncertainty and obfuscation. This lack of transparency not only impedes the verification process but also fuels speculation and misinformation surrounding the actual scale of casualties. Therefore, South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff relies on various sources of information and intelligence to assess the situation. Thus, the actual number of casualties might differ from initial reports, as both Russia and Ukraine have historically provided varying accounts of military losses throughout the conflict. The presence of high-ranking personnel during post-strike operations primarily suggests that additional senior officer casualties may have occurred beyond those initially reported. The strike's impact on the North Korean contingent is especially significant, given that approximately 12,000 North Korean troops have been deployed to support Russian operations. The devastating Storm Shadow missile strike has fundamentally altered the military dynamics in the Kursk region, creating ripple effects across Russian command operations. This tactical success has notably impacted both immediate battlefield operations and long-term strategic planning. The strike on the Maryino facility has dealt a severe blow to the command structure of Russian and North Korean forces, particularly with the elimination of senior leadership, including a North Korean general and key Russian commanders. This loss has created substantial gaps in the chain of command, leaving operational units without critical guidance and oversight. The absence of experienced leaders has forced Russian forces to make significant adjustments to their command infrastructure, including the relocation of primary logistics hubs to safer locations over 120 kilometers from the front line. This restructuring has not only added logistical challenges but also delayed decision-making processes at critical moments. The operational impact of these disruptions is far-reaching. Command posts have been relocated to reinforced and more isolated structures, reducing their vulnerability but also complicating communication and coordination efforts. To adapt to this new reality, Russian forces have increasingly relied on field cable systems for communication, a method less flexible and more prone to disruption compared to modern digital networks. These challenges have slowed decision-making processes, as the chain of command remains fragmented and unable to prioritize efficiently under the new conditions. Beyond leadership and coordination, the strike has severely compromised Russian operational capabilities. Their highly integrated reconnaissance fire circuit, which enables dynamic control of artillery fire, has been significantly degraded. This disruption has reduced the military's ability to coordinate between units effectively, resulting in diminished tactical responsiveness. The logistics and supply chains that underpin sustained operations have also been compromised, leading to shortages of critical resources and equipment. As a result, Russian forces are facing increasing difficulties in mounting rapid response operations, further highlighting the cascading effects of the strike on their overall military effectiveness. The successful deployment of Storm Shadow missiles has provided Ukraine with substantial tactical benefits. The weapon system's ability to evade Russian defenses while carrying specialized warheads for destroying hardened targets has created multiple strategic advantages. The strike has compelled Russian forces to spread their air and missile defense resources across more locations, thereby weakening the protection of key military assets. This redistribution of defensive capabilities has created exploitable gaps in Russian military infrastructure. The psychological impact on Russian commanders has proven equally significant, as the threat to their safety has impacted their decision-making processes. This development has forced Russian military leadership to adapt their command structure, leading to less efficient operations and delayed responses to tactical situations. The missile's effectiveness against hardened structures and command bunkers has demonstrated Ukraine's enhanced capability to neutralize previously secure Russian military installations. This advancement has fundamentally shifted the strategic balance, compelling Russian forces to constantly relocate their command centers and adjust their operational methodologies. First and foremost, the successful deployment of Storm Shadow missiles into Russian territory marks a pivotal shift in Ukraine's offensive capabilities. The strike on the Maryino facility, which eliminated a North Korean general, demonstrates Ukraine's enhanced ability to conduct precision strikes deep behind enemy lines. The unprecedented strike represents Ukraine's first successful use of Storm Shadow missiles within Russia's internationally recognized borders. Rather than limiting operations to occupied territories, Ukrainian forces have now demonstrated their capability to strike targets up to 250 kilometers behind enemy lines. The operation's success rate was notable, with up to 12 missiles striking their intended target. The recent strike has highlighted significant vulnerabilities within the Russian air defense system, exposing critical gaps that undermine its overall effectiveness. Analysis of the event points to specific weaknesses in the system's architecture. Early warning systems, designed to detect incoming threats, demonstrated a limited capacity to identify low-flying cruise missiles, such as the Storm Shadow, until it was too late to mount an effective defense. Furthermore, gaps in air defense coverage, particularly in rear areas away from the immediate front lines, left critical installations vulnerable to deep strike operations. Delayed response times from the command integration system further compounded these issues, reducing the ability to intercept and neutralize incoming threats promptly. In response, the Russian military has been forced to adapt by redistributing its air defense assets over a wider geographical area. While this approach seeks to mitigate risks to high-value targets, it also dilutes the overall strength of its protective network, leaving installations increasingly exposed to subsequent strikes. The strategic implications of this successful deep strike are profound, compelling significant operational changes for Russian forces. To safeguard key assets, they are now required to position them beyond the 250-kilometer strike range of advanced Western munitions, which places logistical and operational strains on their deployments. Command centers must be relocated to hardened, more secure facilities to reduce their vulnerability, a process that demands substantial resources and planning. Additionally, air defense systems will need comprehensive repositioning and upgrades to address the deficiencies exposed by the attack. Additionally, the strike's success has prompted several long-term strategic shifts. The Institute for the Study of War has identified approximately 225 Russian bases now within range of Storm Shadow missiles. This expanded threat radius fundamentally alters Russian military planning and resource allocation. The demonstration of Ukraine's deep strike capabilities has notably influenced Russian military doctrine. Military analysts suggest that Moscow must now dedicate additional resources to protecting its rear areas, which in turn reduces the assets available for offensive operations. The presence of North Korean troops in these vulnerable positions further complicates Russia's strategic calculations. The Russia-Ukraine war update today highlights how the successful strike has forced Russian planners to consider multiple challenges simultaneously. Military logistics have become increasingly complex, as supply lines must now account for potential strikes at greater distances. This operational adjustment has resulted in longer response times and reduced efficiency in supporting frontline operations. The international community has responded decisively to the successful Storm Shadow missile strike that eliminated a North Korean general, marking a significant shift in Western military support for Ukraine. The presence of North Korean troops in the conflict zone has prompted a robust response from NATO and its allies. NATO has demonstrated unwavering support for Ukraine through concrete actions and commitments. At talks in Brussels, the alliance reaffirmed its backing after Russia attempted to intimidate Ukraine's supporters. The organization's response includes the establishment of a joint council with Ukraine for emergency consultations, identification of critical air defense requirements, coordination of allied military assistance, and development of long-term security guarantees. In response to the confirmed deployment of North Korean troops, Western nations have significantly stepped up their military support to Ukraine. The United States, in particular, has announced a substantial military aid package valued at $275 million USD. This aid includes various components aimed at bolstering Ukraine's defense capabilities. Among the most critical are HIMARS ammunition, which will enhance artillery support and enable more effective counterattacks, and artillery shells to sustain ongoing ground operations. Additionally, Javelin missiles are included to strengthen Ukraine's air defense and counter-armored threats. Small arms have also been provided to assist in infantry operations, ensuring that ground forces are well-equipped to face a variety of combat scenarios. Chiefly, the UK has intensified its support through bilateral military assistance, besides coordinating with international partners. The European Union has allocated €11.1 billion through its European Peace Facility, including €5 billion for a dedicated Ukraine Assistance Fund. Certainly, defense cooperation between Ukraine and its allies has reached unprecedented levels. The UK government, contrary to previous restrictions, has approved Storm Shadow missiles for use inside Russia after the US president agreed to similar provisions for American ATACMS weapons. Before this development, NATO had been helping to coordinate requests for assistance through its Comprehensive Assistance Package. Henceforth, The alliance has agreed to assume a greater role in coordinating military assistance and training among NATO allies, with a minimum baseline funding commitment of €40 billion for Ukraine's military assistance within the next year. Despite these developments, NATO maintains clear boundaries regarding direct involvement. The alliance has explicitly stated that NATO troops will not be deployed on Ukrainian soil, and allies have ruled out imposing a no-fly zone over Ukraine to avoid direct conflict with Russian forces. The Russia-Ukraine war update today reflects intensified international coordination. Military analysts suggest that while longer-range missiles may not provide Ukraine with a decisive advantage, they could strengthen its position, particularly in the contested areas of Russia's Kursk region. Finally, the international response has prompted Russian warnings. Russian Foreign Intelligence Chief Sergei Naryshkin has indicated that Moscow would retaliate against NATO countries that facilitate long-range Ukrainian missile strikes against Russian territory. This statement underscores the delicate balance Western allies must maintain in supporting Ukraine while avoiding confrontation with Russia. Technical analysis of the Storm Shadow missile strike reveals unprecedented precision in targeting the command post, where the North Korean general was eliminated. Military experts have employed advanced assessment methodologies to verify the strike's effectiveness and impact. The Storm Shadow missile demonstrated remarkable accuracy, with its sophisticated broach warhead system achieving optimal penetration of the hardened target structure. In essence, the missile's terminal guidance system performed exceptionally well, utilizing its high-resolution thermographic camera for precise target identification. The strike demonstrated exceptional precision in its execution, with a target acquisition success rate of 100%, ensuring that the intended objectives were hit with complete accuracy. The missile effectively penetrated fortified structures, a capability enhanced by the deployment of a tandem warhead designed to breach hardened defenses. Additionally, the strike utilized a highly effective terrain-hugging flight path, maintaining altitudes below radar detection levels, which allowed the missile to evade early warning systems and minimize the risk of interception. This combination of precision targeting, advanced warhead technology, and stealthy flight ensured the strike's devastating impact on its intended target. Military analysts have employed a thorough and multifaceted damage assessment approach, integrating advanced technological tools to ensure accurate evaluation. The process includes several verification layers to confirm the strike's impact. Satellite imagery with high-resolution monitoring played a crucial role in confirming structural damage to the targeted site. In addition, AI-driven analysis, particularly through deep learning models, provided a detailed classification of the damage inflicted on buildings, allowing for a more precise understanding of the strike's effectiveness. Furthermore, terrain mapping was conducted using the TERCOM system to verify the missile's flight path, ensuring that the trajectory was consistent with the intended target and confirming its accuracy. Important to realize that the damage assessment utilized artificial intelligence systems that processed over 370,000 structures in the target area. Analogous to previous successful strikes, the assessment methodology incorporated change detection analysis through specialized algorithms. Military intelligence has now confirmed several significant outcomes through a thorough multi-source verification process. The effectiveness of the strike was validated by advanced monitoring systems, which tracked real-time changes to the targeted infrastructure. Following a comprehensive analysis, intelligence reports have underscored key impacts. These include the complete neutralization of the command and control capabilities at the site, the destruction of underground communication networks, and extensive damage to the fortified protective structures that were previously thought to be impenetrable. The technical battlefield analysis has identified the strike's precision through advanced damage assessment protocols. Nonetheless, the evaluation process continues as additional data becomes available through various intelligence channels. The assessment methodology incorporates both immediate damage verification and long-term impact analysis through specialized monitoring systems. The Russia-Ukraine war update today confirms that military intelligence teams have employed cutting-edge technology for damage assessment, including ortho-rectified drone imagery and satellite-based analysis. This technical evaluation has provided unprecedented insight into the strike's effectiveness against hardened military installations. Military analysts have noted that the missile's sophisticated guidance system, which combines GPS terrain reference data and infrared homing capabilities, proved instrumental in achieving the desired precision. The strike's success has prompted a comprehensive review of Russian defensive capabilities, particularly regarding their ability to protect command and control infrastructure from advanced Western missile systems. The elimination of a North Korean general through precision missile strikes has markedly altered the landscape of modern warfare, prompting significant shifts in military strategy and international relations. This development has triggered a cascade of changes in military doctrine and technological advancement. The successful Storm Shadow missile strike has had a profound impact on Russia's nuclear doctrine and its overall strategic positioning. In the wake of the strike, Russian President Vladimir Putin made significant revisions to the country's nuclear policy, notably lowering the threshold for the potential deployment of nuclear weapons. This policy change now permits a nuclear response to conventional attacks on Russian territory, including those involving weapons supplied by other nuclear-armed states. The shifting landscape of deterrence includes several crucial developments. Before the strike, the nuclear threshold was limited to specific, high-stakes scenarios. However, post-strike, this threshold has been expanded to encompass a broader range of conditions, reflecting a more flexible approach to the use of nuclear weapons. In response to these evolving threats, Russia has moved from traditional deterrence strategies to a multi-tiered approach, diversifying its response options to ensure greater flexibility and readiness. Strategically, Russia's assets, which were once largely concentrated in fixed positions, are now being deployed in a more distributed manner, making them harder to target and increasing the resilience of the country's military infrastructure. Additionally, the once centralized command structure is undergoing an adaptive reorganization. This shift is designed to allow for more responsive decision-making and improved coordination in the face of potential threats, ensuring that Russia can maintain a robust defense posture in the face of escalating tensions. By comparison, Western military analysts note that while Russia's nuclear deterrent prevents direct NATO involvement, it has not stopped allies from operating just below this threshold. At any rate, the presence of North Korean troops has complicated Russia's strategic calculations, forcing a reassessment of its deterrence strategy. Sooner or later, the technological implications of this strike will reshape military capabilities across multiple domains. The Institute for the Study of War has identified approximately 225 Russian bases now within range of Storm Shadow missiles. To adapt to this new reality, Russian forces have implemented several technological changes. These include the integration of advanced air defense systems, the redistribution of defensive assets, enhanced early warning systems, and improved command and control networks. In another case of technological advancement, Ukraine has actively developed its missile program with Western support, with Ukrainian ballistics expected to become a more serious threat by next year. At length, this evolution has prompted both sides to accelerate their technological development cycles. The success of the deep strike operation has had an immediate impact on military doctrine at various levels. As a result, Russian forces now face the challenge of repositioning valuable equipment and personnel whenever preparing for counterattacks, adding complexity to their battle plans. Both offensive and defensive operations have been reshaped by several key changes in combat doctrine. Operationally, command centers have been relocated beyond the 250-kilometer strike range, and distributed command structures are now being implemented to enhance resilience. Additionally, there has been a focused effort on developing new counterstrike capabilities to respond to threats more effectively. Strategically, rear areas are receiving enhanced protection, logistics chains are being modified for increased security, and force deployment patterns have been revised to improve flexibility and survivability. Tactically, advanced early warning systems are being integrated to detect incoming threats more rapidly, while assets are being dispersed to reduce vulnerability. Furthermore, there is an increased emphasis on developing counter-precision strike capabilities to neutralize or mitigate the effects of long-range weapons. Namely, these changes reflect a broader shift in military thinking. The deployment of Storm Shadow missiles inside Russia represents a bold step in Ukraine's ongoing counter-offensive. After all, while the strikes may not decisively shift the war's trajectory, they demonstrate Kyiv's determination to leverage advanced capabilities against an entrenched adversary. The military impact extends beyond immediate tactical considerations. The U.S. decision to authorize long-range Ukrainian strikes could help Kyiv defend its foothold in Russia's Kursk region. This development has forced Russian forces to spread their air and missile defense resources across more locations. The evolving battlefield dynamics have prompted NATO to take on a greater role in coordinating military assistance and training among allies, with a minimum baseline funding commitment of 40 billion euros for Ukraine's military assistance. This coordination reflects the alliance's recognition of the changing nature of modern warfare and the need for adapted response mechanisms. Military analysts suggest that while longer-range missiles may not provide Ukraine with a decisive advantage, they could strengthen its position, particularly in contested areas. The presence of approximately 12,000 North Korean troops supporting Russian operations has added another layer of complexity to the strategic calculations. The technical implications of these developments continue to unfold, Russian forces must now dedicate additional resources to protecting rear areas, which in turn reduces assets available for offensive operations. This redistribution of forces has created a ripple effect across the entire theater of operations, influencing everything from supply chain management to tactical decision-making processes. The Storm Shadow missile strike on Russian and North Korean forces represents a major shift in modern warfare, showcasing the missile system's precision and effectiveness. It exposed critical vulnerabilities in Russia's air defenses, forcing significant operational changes and resource redistribution. Military analysts predict lasting changes to combat doctrine and technological advancements as Russian forces adapt their command structures and defensive strategies, while Ukrainian forces continue to exploit weaknesses in Russian infrastructure. How do you think Russia will respond to this shift in military tactics? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to the channel.